and welcome to Let's Get Real. This is a show that brings you everything about being how real in the East Bay. And this is going to be raw, real, and unfiltered. So let's get real, people. Our first episode is going to be about friendships, and I got my special guest here, my best friend for about 2 decades now, Megan.
Hi.
And we're going to talk about relationships versus being single, since she is in a relationship and I am so single. We're going to talk about how our friendship is and what we think about friendships as the differences in our statuses. So let's talk about our friendship real quick. But before we do that, I want you to follow us on social media. You can follow our station page at CSU East Bay Live. You can follow my social media for the show, _Let's Get Real People. That's _Let's Get Real People, all one word. And if you want to call during the duration of the show to chime in or get a shout out, call 510-885-4230. That is 510-885-4230. Just a little background about me and Megan here, my guest. We have been friends for 20 years. We met when we were 5, in line for our first grade class. And our friendship's pretty interesting because we'll be best friends for 2 years and not be friends for another couple years and then be best friends, not best friends. Fast forward to high school, we became the closest we've ever been in high school, and we have been goofballs ever since. We have this very interesting personality. We're very similar. I'm kind of independent and do my own thing, and so does she. But we've also had drama in our friendship. There has been times where we've had certain friends we've had that has broken us apart. So we have times where we weren't the closest of friends and times where we lost touch and regained. So fast forward to about 2015, I was in a relationship and recently broke up with my first boyfriend. And I reached out to Megan, who lived in Sacramento, and I lived in Fremont. And we became really close. I would visit her over weekends, and about, I would say, 8 months, and I moved to Sacramento. And I lived there for about 6 months, and we became close. So we were both single during the duration of us both living in Sacramento. So we lived about 5 minutes away, and we became close. And then I moved back to Fremont, and so did she, and I got in a relationship. So we'll pick up back onto that because that's the duration of our show. But what's your experience with our friendship, and what do you think about our friendship?
I think it's been great. You're definitely like my childhood memory. I have a terrible memory. I'm like a goldfish, so you help me remember my life.
She literally has like early Alzheimer's. Like she forgets everything. I'll have to be like, Megan, you remember this event or like this memory? And she'll be like, no, I really don't remember. I lived through you.
But yeah, you've been like my closest friend, you know, and the longest friend that I've ever had. So I love you.
If there's any memory that you could remember, what's a memory that like sums up our friendship or a fun little memory that you remember?
I think just in Sacramento, we have a lot of memories for sure. But I liked just how we used to chill, you know, and watch TV in my room in my apartment and just laugh about the randomest stuff and go get donuts at Donut King at like 2 a.m.
We just do like random like adventures like in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So in Sacramento, we used to turn up all the time. So we used to go out to clubs. And, you know, there's some things that make your friendship like really, really close and really, really bonded. So living in Sacramento, like she was all I had. So we would go out to like clubs and stuff, and we'd get turned up, and I would go by like an alter ego, Natalie Sanchez, because you know I don't give out my information. And this girl she would go by like another different name, and she wouldn't remember. She would never remember her name, and she would mess up because she would call me Naomi, and I'd be like, that's my middle name, that's my nickname. Like, that's not my real name. But that was just how our friendship went. We were just very fun, very fun. In high school, like she used to come over to my house, and she would like stay over for like days at a time. She like basically lived at my house, and like she tried all these new things. But our friendship has been really, really crazy. And if anybody out there has a friendship that has lasted through decades, you find that friend being very, very valuable. And I don't know anybody else's experiences with friendships. I have multiple friendships that have gone on for a long time, but this is the only one that's gone on for over a decade, so 2 decades. And she means like the world to me, even though we don't talk every day. Like,
we don't have to, you know, like even when we had our little breaks or whatever, we would come back and it was like nothing, you know, like it was like no time passed. I like that about us.
Is there a time that you think bonded us, or a moment where you're like, this is like my best friend, like she's for sure like down for me for life?
Really, Sacramento really did mean a lot to me because we were both like kind of in the same stage of life. So we were just there for each other, you know?
She's like my deep friend. Like,
Yeah.
you know, some friends serve different purposes, and like she's that friend, like she'll just sit there and let me like talk about all my random theories. And like, because she's known me for years, she knows my goofball side. So like she laughs at me. She's mean. She like laughs at me and like laughs at my faces. She never laughs at like with me. She's laughing at me, like at my faces and my face expressions, because apparently
They're funny.
apparently my face is funny. Okay,
Not in a bad way. It's just your expressions. You're so expressive, and
she bullies me. She's a hardcore bully. Don't
no
even...
way. I'm the nicest.
Okay, I have a story for you since I'm the memory. So
Okay.
one time in Sacramento, we got drunk at her apartment, so we turned up, and I had a little too much, and I like started being a whiner. So I wasn't used to alcohol at this point, so she's starting to click what story I'm about to tell. So she's like, I'm like whiny, and she's like being like a brat. She's not paying attention to me. She's avoiding me. She has sunglasses on, just shade, just avoiding me.
Because I knew you were just whining for no reason,
Yeah,
you
and
know?
she's-
So I was just trying to ignore you to make you stop, and it didn't work.
Zero tolerance for my whininess. So she like, I'm like watching Bridesmaids, and it's like the scene where they're getting married, and I'm like, I want Megan to be like my bridesmaid. Right? I'm like 21. I'm not getting married, and she's like, ignores me, and like she makes fun of me, and I'm like, bully, and I got so upset because I was whiny, and I like, so, it was a great night.
Yeah.
Like, and that moment just proved how silly our friendship was, because it was a total misunderstanding. She didn't even hear me.
Yeah.
But I was just
We were
whiny.
both drunk.
And that just proves that she's a bully and tries to hide it.
No way.
Yeah. So the duration of our friendship is her like bullying me to do things and do silly things all the time.
Uh-huh.
What does friendship mean to you, and what types of friends do you like to have and be around? You know you have me, but
Yeah.
other things that you're looking for in friendship.
I like really, deep friendships. I think that's why I keep you around. Because I really don't have a lot of, like, friends, like, chill friends. I like to keep it all serious and deep. And if I don't, like, connect with you, I'm not going to waste my time,
Yeah, that's true. It's hard to find.
I think maybe that's this stage of my life. Like, I value the deeper friendships than just, like, acquaintances,
That is true. And it's like hard for certain people. Like for me, it's hard to make new friends and like have to build that.
Yeah.
Like what we have, like it's hard
You're not
to
going
build
to feel that right away with someone that you just
Right.
met.
And I like to just get straight to the meaningful because I
Yeah.
don't like small talk. So,
Same.
but like I just like people who can just be honest, open, and real, and just be themselves. And
Yeah.
we, the whole agree to disagree. Like
Yeah.
there's some things we don't agree on.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty open. Like Megan, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
But
But that doesn't affect, like,
our friendship
Yeah.
at all, or how we see each other. Mm-hmm. I'll just sum up our friendship as we're just one of those kind of types of friends that, like, some people either click right away and, like, they're best friends and they contact each other all the time. We're not those kind of friends.
Yeah.
We have been best friends for a very long time, had ups and downs, and have been through a lot, and we just connect. We just click. We get each other. And if you have those kind of friends, keep them
They're
close to your heart.
valuable.
for like the rest of your days.
Yeah.
We're about to go on a quick music break. When we come back from the music break, we'll talk about her relationship and me being single and how that has affected or how we are still friends through that. And if you want to talk to us during the duration of our next segment, call 510-885-4230 and follow us on social media, CSU East Bay Live, and mine, _ Let's Get Real People. We'll be back after this music break.
If I right my wrongs the way I write this song, I'd be sinless in love. I would be tempted to say that I made it.
And welcome back to Let's Get Real. For those of you who are just joining in, thank you for joining in. And we're talking about friendships with my best friend, Megan. And if you're coming back, download the Mixlr app. Follow us. If you're not already listening, if you're listening with a friend and you haven't downloaded it, download it. Follow me on social media, _ Let's Get Real People, all one word. And then our station page, CSU East Bay Live. And we are here with Megan, and we're going to talk about our statuses. So I'm single, and she's in a relationship. So we'll start with her, since she's in a relationship. And she's had 2 different relationships. And she's currently in relationships. It's been a year, almost 2 years, sorry.
Yeah.
So talk about it.
I met Joe, and kind of right away we just clicked. The first day we met was kind of crazy, the date. We had a lot of fun. And then, yeah, we kind of just saw each other every day since then. I love Joe. He's great. I've never had like such a close relationship. Even my last one, that was like the same duration, kind of. Yeah, he's great.
And I love Joe. I met Joe. And knowing my best friend, they're very cute together. I don't spend too much time for them, so I don't really get the ins and outs of her relationship. But because you had a relationship previously that was 2 years long, how does this relationship differ from that relationship since you were young when that relationship started?
I think the stages of my life vary a lot between those 2 relationships. My first relationship, we were really young, like from high school to transitioning into adult life. We moved out together, and we kind of just both grew apart, I guess, and changed into 2 different people that weren't meant to be together. And with Joe, we just have that click, and I can see that future with him. We're very similar. It's just a really, deep connection that I can see a long time future with him, and he feels the same as me. So I think it's good.
Aww. And you live with Joe, correct?
Yeah.
So you lived with 2 different people.
Yeah.
How is it living with someone you're in a relationship with? And you can start with the first one versus the second one.
They're really different. The first one, I think it was the differences in our personalities, and I kind of realized a lot more when we did live together. I got really annoyed with him, and maybe that played a part in us growing apart, and I just, I couldn't see that future anymore, because living together, that's your future too. That's such a big part in a relationship. You have to be compatible that way. And with Joe, I was actually telling him yesterday, I feel like I'm alone when I'm with him, like in a good way. Like it doesn't take energy to be with him. Like we just connect, and I don't have that annoyance with him. Like I used to want my old boyfriend to like go somewhere. But with Joe, like it's not like that. I don't get annoyed with him.
Hey everyone, it's Tori. So I want to add some perspective to this one too, because I think it's kind of interesting. Let's see. I've been with my partner. It'll be 8 years this November. Mm-hmm. We've lived together since I think 2016 or 15 or 16, one of those. But honestly, like I grew up as an only child, and having privacy and personal space is like really important to me. So like I'm really appreciative that I'm with a person that respects that. That like, we don't have to talk to each other 24/7. We can just like be on both our laptops, or not even in a disrespectful way, but just be in our own worlds, but be in each other's world at the same time. So I don't know. I feel like I'm lucky, but when you just get with someone that connects with you on that level and, knows what you're into, and likewise, like the other way around, then I think that's what, I don't know, makes a good situation.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, and I
Like you explained it a lot better, but that's like what I mean.
Yeah, I completely got what you were trying to say, but yeah.
Yeah. Like you can be in the same room and not really talking to each other, just doing your own thing, but you feel that presence and it doesn't affect anything.
Yeah, and that presence isn't even like a disturbance. It's just
right,
like
it's not annoying.
It's comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You can be in your own space without having them interrupt you.
Yeah.
Like I don't know this. I'm clingy. I'm a clingy person. Yeah. So I like to be like all up in the grills of people. So I don't know what's personal space. I don't know. But I've also never lived with somebody like.
But you need someone that's compatible with that. That's such a key. Yeah.
Who's like with being all up in my grill.
Yeah.
No, but like I get what you mean too, because like. I'm like that at the beginning of the relationship, but after like a year, it fizzles out because I start getting bored. So I'm not someone who's like, once you start not being in my physical presence, I'm start losing you my mental presence, if that makes sense.
Right.
I start losing it. So especially if I find you attractive, I'm like, I just want to be around you.
So like, do you find it, or are you comfortable with like being, I don't know, what are you trying to say? Do you like being like all up in each other's like presence or like faces, or?
I'm needy and clingy.
Okay, so you like someone that's like
physically like all up in the grill.
But to my defense, the people who I was with didn't give me the attention that I needed, so I like craved it. So I probably would be less clingy, less needy if I was
shown the right attention. Yeah.
Meaningful attention.
But like all you're looking for is just like someone who like really attention. You're not a clingy person. You just like want someone who like just like wants you for you, and just like gives you that like the satisfaction of being wanted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
like everybody wants to be wanted.
So that might change if you met the right person that's like compatible with you. And say you were in that living situation, that might change. You might not want to be so clingy because you feel like validated and you feel like you have the right amount of attention.
Like, okay, so we are about to have a caller, and I'm so excited because this is my first caller.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. And yeah, so we're still talking about relationships. We're talking about how like I never lived with nobody, and so I don't know what that feels like, and that I'm needy, and that. Hello.
What's up, fam?
What's up?
Nothing. Just driving to KPFA.
And is this who I think it is, or no?
Yes, I think you know who it is.
Hi, David.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Nothing. Just living, listening to y'all crazy girls.
Hey, you already know me. I'm very wild. Megan, this is David. He
David.
also does a show here. He's like my bestie at the station.
That made
you guys
some
are all my
people mad.
besties, okay? Don't get all everybody's getting all jealous that I called you my bestie.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
I thought we was all fans.
What?
I thought we were all family. You know what I'm saying?
We are. You guys are all my best friends, okay?
So I was just listening to y'all talk about y'all's relationships, and I thought that maybe I would have a different perspective.
Shoot.
I mean, you guys were talking about, what you're looking for in a relationship. I'm on the River Road, so I lost a little bit of the show. But just now, you were saying that you were clingy because you didn't get that in your past relationship, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I kind of, when Jessica and I first got married, it was, I was super, super self-conscious and, just rough upbringing. You're not really the most proud person. But I was kind of clingy at first, too. But, I mean, after a while, it kind of went away. And I feel like, we're stronger that now I'm not so clingy anymore.
It sounds like clinginess could be like an effect of something, Like something causes clinginess most of the time.
It reminds me when I was a little kid and I got a new toy and I didn't want no one else to touch that shit. And I'm like, stay back, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's fine. And it's like, you don't want no one else to have what you have or experience what you experience. And I think that's kind of, in the beginning stages of a relationship, it's probably pretty common.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I know exactly why I'm clingy. As a kid, I've always been like the kind of person who, like, my family really relies on me for a lot of things. I'm that strong. I'm a very strong individual, and my family kind of feeds off that. They kind of feed off my strength, and I've always been just someone who, like, never let people too close because I don't want to hurt, because I need to be strong for everybody else. Mm-hmm. So when I get into a relationship and I can finally be vulnerable with somebody, I feed off it, and I want to be around that person all the time because I'm strong in my daily life, and I want someone else to be strong for me, and I try to make weak men strong, and I get super clingy, and I want their attention all the time because I don't get that all the time. If that makes sense?
I feel you. Yeah, it does make sense. But I would say, like, just from the short time that I have known you, and I do believe that you are a strong person, and I mean, I wouldn't want to be your enemy, that's for sure. But I think at the end of the day that your family depends so much on you, and that you know that you got to remember, girlfriend, you got to put yourself first.
True.
Because if you don't treat yourself, how the hell are you going to help anybody else?
And nobody else is going to help you as much as you.
I know.
Right? We talked about this before, you feel me? And, like, having 3 kids, being married for almost 12 years, like, we just kind of have to take care of ourselves before we can be good parents or even good lovers, you feel me?
Mm-hmm. True. Well, thank you so much, David. I'm going to run out of time soon, but thank you so much. I really appreciate your perspective and chiming in. Yeah. Thank you so much.
It's good talking to y'all.
Thank you. Well, before we run out of time, we'll talk about my single life. So it's quick because my single life's kind of boring, but I've been single now for 1.5 years officially. I've had 2 different relationships, both very rocky. And both I learned what I don't want, more what I don't want. And that I was finding, like I said, trying to make weak men strong to make me feel better. And I was looking for the wrong things. Being single now, I'm really now, after 1.5 years, really embracing being single and really just finding out who I am. Megan was single for about almost 2 years. So she got that single time. She loves her own time. I don't like it because I'm always in my own head. But, I love being single, and I think being single has affected our friendship in the way that I sometimes feel that her being with Joe, that Joe took my place, but I was never that close living with her like that. But sometimes I feel like she's always with Joe and not with me, and that Joe's stealing my place, but it's not outside of her character. She just sometimes just gets caught up in her own little things, and sometimes contact your friend, okay?
I know. But I feel like it doesn't have to do with Joe mostly. It's like this stage of my life. I'm so, like, stressed about work for dumb reasons. Like, I really shouldn't, but I let stuff affect me. So I feel like I'm running low on energy, like, on my personal life. Like, I need to put more energy into other things, and make an effort into my friendships. But I'm just so, like, tired from stress. But I do want to make more of an effort too, because I love you.
So we are going to go on a music break very shortly, but before we go on a music break, please follow us on social media. So CSU East Bay Live, my social media for the show, _ Let's Get Real People. That is _ Let's Get Real People, on all one word. I try to make it simple for you guys. And then you can call into the show, like we did have a caller today, 510-885-4230. That is 510-885-4230. Thank you, guys. We're going to go on another music break. When we come back, we'll give you some advice and how we dealt with our friendship with being single and in a relationship.
Yes.
my pin drop in a cocoon with a worm, such a worm that a caterpillar, butterfly status and a new apparatus. What I earn, right to be branded, I demand it. You listen and learn. Enough with the sciences, I'm done with the Simon says. Got an agreement and I'm firm with my terms. One, everybody in my camp is down for the movement. Working on 9 to 5, but stayed around for the music. Deserve to be applauded while I'm considered an artist worth an audience of 1 million viewers. Done, but it ain't about the money though. No, I said it ain't about the money though. Why? Cause it's all about the principle. Yeah, I said it's all about the principle. You can find me in the corner with my light on, working on my dreams until the night chimes on. If I right my wrongs the way.
And welcome back. For those of you who are just joining in, it's Let's Get Real. We're going to close this up. We're talking about friendships today with my friend Megan, who's in a relationship, and I'm single. And we're just going to give some quick advice. For those of you who are in really good friendships and your friend is in a relationship, reach out to that person first off. And secondly, if they're avoiding you, it's not because of that person they're dating or because of them. It's just they're in that full like love, or they're maybe in that really comfortable spot after years, and that's just where they're most comfortable. They can be with that person by themselves, but them to be in the same room. I never heard of that. No, I'm just kidding. I understand exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But reach out to the person if you have a friend out there that has a relationship and maybe you're single and you want to have a girls' day with them. If for any reason you can't get in touch with them and they're just in one of those kind of relationships where that person's just controlling, I would also try just as much as just support that friend and help them through that.
Yeah.
But anything you else want to say?
I agree with that. I think it goes both ways. I can also reach out, and that goes for the people in the relationships. Like, you can reach out to, even if you're in a stage of life where you don't want to do anything, regardless of your relationship. But you got to make time for your homies,
Yeah. So long story short, keep your friends, especially if you've been friends for decades, and especially it's hard to find those friends that are really down for you.
Yeah.
And next week's episode, I will be talking about festivals and concerts, since we're at that season where it's rave season. And I would like to have Tori be on because she goes to festivals, and I want her to be on my show to talk about festivals and concerts. And I'm locking her in right now to be on for next week. So join in for that. And last but not least, please follow our social medias. Get on those social medias. Get all the updates. I'll be posting all the things for this show and all the other shows. CSU East Bay Live and _ Let's Get Real, people. Let's get those follows out there. And see you guys next week. And next up is Benchwarmers. East Bay Benchwarmers.
Woo.